But I get what you say. I'm with you. Thank you. Who's next?
New York State did ban fracking.
The state?
The whole state.
That's right, just recently, yes, right. I saw that, that I did, see, yes. Well, maybe we'll have an impact, you know? Who's next, anybody? Come on up, sir.
I just have a question.
Sure.
Probably don't have to come up, but has anybody talked to the company that wants to do the drilling on the board?
There's no companies wanting to do any drilling, well, that are in the process of drilling, are they?
They've given us all leases.
We've got
to sign,
leases.
so-
Oh,
Contract.
have we talked to them? I don't think we have.
Julie Lovelace, who's our zoning administrator and watershed administrator, she and I met with one of the residents, I think his last name was Spikerman,
Okay.
and
In Florida.
he gave us a copy of what they had given him, but nobody from the oil and gas company obviously has come to see us.
Or were they invited to come see? I'm not necessarily in favor, or not, all of us are here, none of us have signed, trying to find out more about it, but the lease specifically states, no, they are not gonna be fracking. They are not even intending to frack. They just are, maybe will drill a well within the next 3 to 5 years. But they are only leasing the property right now, trying to lease the mineral rights.
The understanding that we have gotten from various sources, on both sides, because, you know, I mean, we listened to Shirley's group and Brian's group, the flow people first, because they're the ones that came to us first, but then we thought that it would be important, because Cannon Township is big on information, knowledge, and education, and sharing all of that. So one of the things we did is we got the other side, so we got an oil and gas company to come, what was the name of it? Trenwell in Rockford, right? And they gave a presentation, and they showed these charts and everything and maps of where the oil and gas is, and they said there really right now isn't a market for fracking here. So it doesn't necessarily, no, it doesn't surprise me that they're not interested in fracking here on your potential lease. Shirley, what did you? Yeah.
They are interested in getting control of the land.
Correct. Leasing
And
the
they
mineral
will,
rights.
yes, they are interested in getting control of the land. That is where all of the activity now. Production is declining, drilling is declining, but leasing is continuing steady. And they will do what is necessary to retain control of the land as long as they can. All it requires is a little activity on your land, and the lease is effectively lengthened, basically. So the reality is that leases can be extended in perpetuity in reality. So you must be very careful. It's very, giving away control of your land is a very important decision.
But that's also going to be
I have-
dependent on what's in the
I
lease.
have links.
In your lease, is fracking specifically forbidden?
Yes,
Okay.
specifically forbidden. And actually going on your property or on any of our property to do anything in terms of
What company is that, by
seismic
the way?
testing or anything.
What's the company?
The company is West Bay Exploration out of Traverse City.
So are
You
they
guys know
getting
that?
surface rights to your land, or are they getting only
No surface rights whatsoever.
subsurface?
No surface rights whatsoever. According to the lady that contacted us, they have to lease a certain amount of area around where they want to drill. And they want to drill on the power lines off of Cruder. They want actually to lease the entire north half of section 24, which runs from Cruder to 7 Mile, which is an imaginary 7 Mile, doesn't really go through, and then from Greeley to, no, excuse me, from Giles to Tiffany. That's it's a half a mile by a mile, northern half of section 24. That's what they're trying to lease.
Are they testing your water before they start drilling? And they paying for it?
They haven't even talked about drilling.
Well, there's no point in their having the land unless
Okay,
they want to be able to drill when the time comes.
That's right, they do want to be able to drill if and when the time comes. According to them, they, I remember about 20 years ago or so, Shell Oil came through. and did the seismic testing all through there.
But you can't stop them from drilling.
That's what you said.
We can't stop them as a government. The property owners are the ones with the clout here. You guys are the only ones that can stop them from drilling.
Well, I can tell you that where they intend to drill is on Don Osborne or whatever his property, and the consumer's power right away. That's where they intend to go.
But if you give them a lease for your mineral rights, you are giving them the right to drill on your property.
Not according to the lease.
What
According
would the
to,
purpose of the lease be then?
pardon me?
Mineral rights? I don't know what's in the lease.
All they're
I haven't
doing
seen
is
the lease.
leasing, the state says they have to tie up a certain amount of area. They have to pay a certain area or section within the area that they're gonna lease to, because they don't know how big the puddle is.
Right, but see, Bonnie's point, I think, is a good one in the abstract, that if no one in this township signed a lease for, right, no one is gonna drill.
And I asked that question too. What if I don't wanna sign? What if, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't wanna sign. She said, doesn't matter. We can go there and drill anyway.
On your property?
No.
No.
That
Under
Osborne
it.
property is directly, we're
Osborne.
directly south of there.
Osborne property.
No, you're probably right. They can drill on anybody's property that gives them the right pursuant to a lease to.
And they already have
Have what?
given them the right or the
You
permission.
can't stop that.
Correct, but they have to pay, they have to tie up a certain amount of land
That's my point.
that they pay royalties.
If they tie up if they get one piece of property, and again, I haven't seen the lease, but it sounds like what you're saying is if they get one piece of property, the reason they're going to these other ones is because they have to get so much land around it. If the people around it don't let them have the opportunity to tie up that property, then they're not gonna drill on the property they already got the lease on.
Except for Osborne's property is big enough that they really don't need the rest of us to
Then what
sign.
are they talking to you for?
I don't know, because the state says, I don't know.
Well,
No.
I don't know, it's up, look, the one, I gotta tell you this. This township government, we're very conservative people as far as government, right? I don't like a lot of regulations, and I don't like a lot of restrictions. I think people ought to be able to do with their property pretty much what they want to, within reason as far as our ordinances go. And I've often said that if it were up to me, I'd have one line in our zoning ordinance, and it would say, be a good neighbor. And that really should be, in a perfect world, all we need, but we don't have that. But what I'm saying is that we are not gonna get involved in anybody's business. If a private landowner in our township wants to or does not want to sign a lease, that's up to that person, that's their right. They own the property, right?
Right.
All we can do is protect to the limited ability the state gives us, the water, the air, and the quality of the environment. But it's up to, we're not gonna get in anybody's business.
Well, according to the lady, if you don't sign on, which is fine, if you decide not to sign on, she says they're gonna drill anyway. If you don't sign on, they still have to pay everybody in that half mile by mile a royalty for whatever it's a formula, for whatever they
Yes.
take out of, whatever they take out of the land, they have to pay. If you sign up now, there's like a $500 bonus, or well, for me it's $500, it's $50 an acre. If you
And
sign
yet
up
they
now.
don't need you.
Huh?
And yet they'd say they don't need you.
All right, so then, but if you don't sign up, they still have to pay the people that don't sign up at a given point, but it would be further down the road for whatever the laws are.
Oh, that's
So
up to you.
it's a drilling unit, so based on the state law, they have to have a certain area based on the drilling unit, and they can force pool you into that without your signature. They also have to give you a higher royalty than what they're giving anyone else. So what they don't tell you, and what you need to actually so you really need to talk to an attorney who's experienced in these leases before you consider signing any of these. Not legal advice, not all by legal advice, but the royalty requirements are higher. So you can sign a bonus, a signing bonus, you're gonna have a lower percentage on the royalty.
You know what we might do, is we'll get into this, because we haven't even gotten to our agenda yet. Which is okay, because that's fine, we're here as long as you are.